How are you?
Me?
Yes.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. My name is Hameeda, and I work with Building Bridges. I am the Engagement and Outreach Coordinator.
And my name is Raegan, and I'm the Program Coordinator.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
And we're doing this Instagram Live for Black History Month. So the plan is for us to do one of these this week and then next week, right?
Maybe.
That's our coworker. Jenny, what do you want? But yeah, so we're going to do it the rest of the Black History Month once we can tell it's over. And today's topic is Black History Month, also like our experience as Black people in a majority white space.
Which is all of America.
Which is everywhere, and also our office. But yeah, so start us off. Raegan, how does it feel? How does it feel to be Black? No, I'm just kidding. How does it? I'm not, but I really want to know. What's it like for you in these spaces? What's it like being here?
Well, I've been Black since day one.
Really?
Really, yeah, that's what happens. I don't know. I think I'm really grateful for my parents. They really, especially my mom, she, from a young age, made sure that me and my brothers knew the importance of being Black and what that means, and recognizing that things aren't going to be as easy for us as we see them being for our classmates and peers. But that there's still something to be proud of.
Nice.
And then now working in the nonprofit world, I don't know, it's
Sips tea.
It's such a white dominated space. And I feel like at this point I've learned to just like go along with it, or like keep myself and my values intact and just learn how to survive. So it's been like a battle of survival of how am I gonna not be crushed by these systems today?
Girl, isn't that what we're trying to do every day? Yeah. So how does it feel like? So have you worked at other nonprofits or just?
No. So I've worked with Denver Public Schools, and then I've also worked for other capitalist organizations.
Oh.
But Building Bridges is the first nonprofit that I've worked for. Or it's the first one. It's not the only one that I'm involved in right now, but definitely my first. And it was a great intro and set me up for a lot of my professional development that I have now. Yeah.
Good to hear. Yeah, so I think I'm also Black. I've been Black since 97. And yeah, similar to Raegan, I feel like it's really weird because I feel like I've been aware of my race way before my peers were. I think other people had to learn about race, and I was like, race was thrust upon me. Like, I could not ignore my race. I couldn't be like, I didn't realize I was Black, or that's not really how the world worked. In my life outside of the U.S., it was very much like, I think I was more aware of my race and before, like, I think I was first aware of my race like the age of 5, because before my parents even had the Black talk with me, they were, I just knew because people treated us differently because we were like an African family living in India, so like we were already different, and then coming to the U.S., it was different because like we lived, because we were still African, but now we were Black, so that was something I had to learn. But now I just identify as Black because it's easier, and I want to be like in solidarity with my Black brothers and sisters. Working in I think I have worked in white spaces like my whole career, or like any job I've had, I've been like the Black person. So I just grew accustomed to like how to navigate around white people and how to navigate around like, microaggressions. What do I do? Like if my supervisor says something that's like kind of racist, I usually don't do anything. Don't say anything because I don't want to like put my job in jeopardy, or especially if that person doesn't really know a lot about social justice or care. I think this is a lot of people do. Like we kind of have our own like internal monologues about like I was messed up, but I can't say anything because I don't want to put myself in jeopardy or my livelihood. So usually it's like okay, or I say that's not okay, and then I move on. I don't try to explain it unless they listen to me. But working in like majority, like now in my professional career, it's interesting because I think people know more about race and like their place in the world. Like white people that I've worked under or with kind of know, but it's still something that people are definitely not experts on. I think I'm always teaching people about blackness and like what they're doing wrong or what they're doing right. Usually what they're doing wrong, because I think people just have an uncomfortability with black people in general but don't want to say anything, or they'll do, their actions will be telling of what they feel about me, and I'll be like, okay, like I'll steer clear of this person, or this person's who I talk to about this issue. And not working in our like majority white workspace that we work in, like I think we're the only two black people, I think we're few people of color
yes
in our office in general, and I think everyone's like really nice and sweet, but it's still like that tension of like I'm always aware that I'm the one or the few, so we kind of like come together and like have our little like talks and like, hey, oh my god, so and so did this at the water cooler, like, you know, like have our little, I don't know, I feel better having Raegan here because that's someone who understands me in a different level, because like understanding because we can't, you know, separate our race from who we are, right? So.
Yeah. Same, sis.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here for me and
Thanks
the black
being
struggle
here.
every day.
Let's see. We have some.
Oh, do we have some questions?
Not any questions.
But we have one from, hi, Sarah. I'll answer your question now. Thank you for answering our Instagram question request. And Sarah's question was, like, when was the time you felt seen, like an experience or by a person? Like, when was the last time you felt seen? I think that was your question, Sarah. Hi.
Would you like to answer that first?
Yes, I'll go
Okay.
first. I'm drinking kombucha, y'all. Look. Assimilation. Just kidding. I feel the most seen when I'm around other black people. But, yeah, like, by Raegan. And last time I felt really seen was by you, Raegan. Like, when we live together and, like, we have our little talks, and I feel like you understand. She's also my roommate. Yeah. So, I think you understand where I'm coming from. So when, like, something happens at work or school or, like, in my, you know, interpersonal life, I'll be like, oh, my God, guess what so-and-so did? And you're like, girl, let me sit down. And you always listen to me, and I feel like I don't have to explain as much to you because you already know where I'm coming from as another black woman. So, yeah, thanks for making me feel seen, Raegan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think...
You don't have to say me. It's fine.
I wasn't planning on it.
Oh!
No, but I think when... It's hard for me to choose, like, a specific moment.
Mm-hmm.
One, because it doesn't actually happen all that often. But two, I feel the most seen when people recognize... Kind of similar to what you were saying, when people recognize, like, that I'm here and I exist and that I am human.
Yes, you
and
are.
like what their actions towards me and around me matters. So I really appreciate when people around me recognize that they made a mistake or that they're messing up, and it's like, okay, cool, like you might not get it, but you're working towards that, and I appreciate that.
Awesome. I guess piggybacking off of that question, what do you think our folks, non-POC or non-black POC can do to make black people feel more welcome, or what work do you think people have to do to make us feel seen in celebration of Black History Month and every other month, because every month is Black History Month, you know? But what do you think people can do to make us feel that way more often?
Yeah, I feel like, one, do your own work, y'all, please. Do your own work.
We're so tired.
As much as I'd like to say that I'm okay with helping people learn and understand, when it becomes an everyday thing, like, it's tiring. Like, I don't want to do that for all of my life. So please do your own work. Have a support group or friends that will help hold you accountable. I'm gonna bring it up here too.
Yeah, please do.
A few months ago at one of our trainings, I made the comment that everyone needs a black friend. And I mean that. Like, I truly mean that. You need an actual friend, not just someone you work with and your work friend that happens to be a person of color or a black person, but like someone that you have a real interpersonal relationship with, that you can learn from and without like tokenizing them as your friend because they are Black, but like someone that you genuinely enjoy. And if you don't have that person, I think that might be something you want to reflect on.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on, I'm just gonna see if there's say hi to some viewers. It's the first time doing this, so we appreciate this. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Never mind. I don't know how it works.
You're on this one, is it?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
You know, that's the kind of support we need out here. Jenny, our coworker, is literally behind this wall, and she's watching our live. Shout out to Jenny. She's great. But, yes, going off like what you said, Raegan, definitely do your own work. I don't know if I 100% agree. Oh, hold on. Let me make both of us around here. I don't know if... You look so cute. Oh, you look so smelling is glowing. But I don't think I agree 100% with what Raegan said about having a Black friend. And also, not all Black people agree with each other.
That's
We're
true.
very different people, different perspectives.
Yes.
But I think everyone needs to diversify their circles for sure, in like a genuine, maybe I do agree with you a little bit, genuine, like a genuine way, not like a fake way, like, oh, like I'm gonna collect all these POC. That's weird. Don't do that. But like make genuine connections. If you like someone, if you have like similar interests, like you know how you make friends regularly, just apply that to communities outside of your own. Like get out of your comfort zone. Go to places where like go support people of color businesses. Go to school events. There's always something happening at like the cultural centers in different universities. Go to your like sit in, like ask permission to sit in, Black student union. Like even if you're not a Black person, ask permission to sit in, just so you understand where people are coming from. Just really take the time to diversify your friend group in a genuine way of like, hi, I don't want to be your friend just because you're Black, but I want to be your friend because I like you and I would like you as a friend. And also I want to make sure that I am doing what I can to not keep this like cycle of oppression alive. And white people do today and yesterday benefit from oppression of people of color, like you do. And once you realize that, I think naturally people will want to be your friend, because if you're not making POC safe, then maybe reflect on why you don't have POC friends first step, and then work from there. Because I think you're probably doing something that maybe if you don't even realize it, that makes people feel unsafe. I wouldn't recommend someone like that. It doesn't even understand like the basics of racism and oppression to seek out people and make them feel unsafe because you haven't done your work. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it does. Well, even if it doesn't, figure it out. Google it. Google is real. You can use it every day. You have a computer in your pocket right now. Work on that.
Actually, if you're watching this, then it's in your hands.
Oh, it's in your hands.
So
then you're doing the right thing. Thank you for watching.
Cool. You want to check in with some of our viewers?
Yes, let's see. Okay, we got a heart emoji, smiley face heart from Jenny. What's up? Thank you for the support. We appreciate it. What else?
And y'all, sorry if this looks choppy. We are live on Facebook and Instagram.
So we have like
right
two
now.
phones in front of us. I'm trying to like figure out how to do this. Let's see.
It's not popping up.
I don't know why. We have 4 viewers here.
Well, we appreciate everyone watching on Facebook. We can't actually see who you are right now. Oh, what?
I made it hard to Valentine's Day. Let's see. Okay. Oh, we got a question from Jenny. Perfect. Thank you, Jenny. So the question is, what are your concerns and hopes around Black and brown relations in the U.S.? Okay. What do you think?
Cool. Yeah, I think one concern I have is that... Oh, okay, I have a few. So
I'm going to get tissue. Keep talking.
I'm not going to do this in, like, order of importance to myself because I don't actually know what that is right now. But one concern I have is that there's not much solidarity between Black and brown people in the United States. What I find happening is that we've kind of made this into a like battle of the oppression
Olympics,
and like figuring out like who can check off the most boxes and be the most oppressed, and like our movements have become really separated, and there's space for Unfortunately, there's space for us all to be oppressed.
There's enough oppression to go around, folks.
You're in luck. And I feel like some of these movements that we have could be way more stronger if we were to work in solidarity. Another concern, or I'll let you go next, just in case my next one is yours too.
Okay. So one of my concerns and hopes. Okay, so a concern I have is like Raegan said, definitely like oh no, I'm more oppressed than you, or I'm more oppressed than this. Another one is definitely like anti-blackness in the brown community, and I feel like that keeps us more separated, because in my experience I felt that maybe brown people won't like me because I'm black, or they like don't, or even though we have such similar struggles, because my blackness gets in the way of anti-blackness is a barrier between our struggles. And anti-blackness is white supremacy. It is internalized white supremacy. And I know this white supremacy obviously is internalized white supremacy on my part, but also on the part of brown people that want to be my friend. So I think once we get over that hill and then realize that we're all fighting the same battle, and undo white supremacy in our own lives, internally and externally, and that then we can come together. My hopes is like black and indigenous struggles is my struggle. Like, we are fighting for the same thing, and I think once we realize that we are, without like erasing I'm not gonna say we're the same people, but without erasing our uniqueness, we can come together in the similarity of like we all want to be free, and that's a hope for us. I think we can get there once we get over those barriers, which are pretty big barriers, but I think it's possible.
Beautifully said.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree.
Thanks for waiting for me, because you said the same thing.
No problem.
Yay. All right. Thank you, Jenny, for your question. Let's see if you have any other questions. We're literally learning how to work this right now, so we appreciate it.
Thanks for working with us.
Okay. Tap a response to show you screen. Okay, nice. We did that. And does anyone, and please feel free to write in the comments and any questions you have, and we'll answer them now. We'll be doing this till 3. We'll try our best. Until if we don't have questions, I'm looking at your watch. You're like, maybe not till then, but we're gonna try to keep answering questions until then. I'm gonna keep asking Raegan here some questions, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, Raegan. So It's Black History Month.
It sure is.
What do you do to celebrate Black History Month? How do you celebrate being black in this? And we have an extra day this year too.
We do.
So what
true.
Yeah, actually, the next question: what will you do with an extra day in Black History Month? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, my plan at the beginning of this month was to really focus on some self-care. I think what I tend to do, like in past years, I've always tried to go out of my way to make sure that the community and other people know Black history and recognize it as U.S. history, because it is U.S. history.
Yes, ma'am.
But this year, I did it for one day, and then I was like, Google is a thing, and why is it that every year for a month I'm the one who has to go out and now teach other people, when, like, if people actually cared about Black history, like, especially in our field, like the nonprofit field, then you should do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, go learn yourself. So I've really been trying to focus on some self-care. One thing I like to do is I like getting my nails done. Oh, they're not done now.
They're nice, though.
But
they're this pretty orange color, orangey.
Yes.
That's her favorite color, by the way.
It is my favorite color.
Yes.
And then I really like surrounding myself with Black people. So, I have a Black roommate.
Hi.
And then I have my parents that I enjoy spending time with, and my brothers. Generally, they're out of state right now. One of them will be here next weekend. That'll be fun.
Yay.
Not sure how he feels about me right now, but that's okay. Shout out to my family.
Shout out to the Kuala Bomb fam. I don't think they're on this live.
Not at all.
Fake.
They're not good with social media.
Aw.
It's
so
okay.
Cute, so old. No,
yeah, so I think really just like investing in myself and doing like a scan.
Yes,
to make
a
sure
body
that
scan.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's
what
awesome.
about you?
Yes.
What are you going to do with this extra day?
Yes, so what am I going to do with extra day in Black History Month? Usually, my main goal is just to be as black and apologetic as possible, which I do every day of the year, but I try to be extra that this year. I think I'm doing this year more, just this year in general, is practicing self-care and realizing, because I think as a black woman, I'm constantly asked to go, like, push my boundaries more than I would like to, like, do more work, or, like, please speak about this, and please talk about this. And the older I'm getting, the more I realize I can say no, and I don't have to constantly speak about my story, because that's traumatizing. Or constantly share, like, I used to constantly share, like, what the newest person that was murdered by police, and, like, you know, talk about that. But then I realized I can do that in smaller doses, and people obviously Google exists, but just really being, like, listening to my heart more, because I think for so long I felt like I had to, like, beg people to care about black history and black people and our struggle. And the more I realized that taking care of myself is, like, a radical act, like being like, actually, no, I won't speak about that today, or, like, I'm not feeling good, and I won't do that. Or, actually, I'm just gonna, when someone's like, do you want to hang out? I'm like, no, I think I'm feeling really worn out by racism today, and I'm not gonna leave my house because I don't want to see someone, I just don't want to see anyone right now, especially white people in Denver sometimes. It's just a little too much for me. And taking that break and allowing myself to be like, I don't need to constantly, like, share my story and, like, beg people to care about me. Like, I already have people who care about me, and there's so many people working towards the revolution, working towards equality, and, like, and it's not just me. Remembering that is really, like, a key part of what makes me, like, keep moving forward. And especially the work we do, the anti-oppressive work, is really, really hard on the oppressed people. And us, like, me personally, like, that's a lot, it takes a lot of toll on me, and if I wanted to do this work for longer, I gotta practice sustainability, and that's taking care of myself. Yep.
Thanks. Yeah, that sounds really, it can be very draining. I know.
I know you know, girl. I know you know. All right, let's see if you have any other questions.
While you were talking, something came to mind, and I was thinking about when you had brought up, like, the white people in Denver.
Yeah.
And what that is like.
What's that like? Yeah.
Yeah, especially, so I guess, what is that like every day?
Yeah, I guess I said it assuming people know what I'm talking about, which isn't fair. But when I think of, like, white folks in Denver, that, like, Denver, especially places I go to and, like, frequent, there's a lot of white people, and I think it's in my personal experience, I think white folks can live, like, I'm kind of jealous sometimes, because they can walk around and not think about who they are and where they stand in the world. Like, they don't have to think about, like when I'm going into, because I really like beer, right? So when I'm going into yes, so when I'm going into breweries, and breweries are usually full of white dudes, I go in and I kind of have to pride myself before I go in there of, like, okay, Hameeda, what are you gonna say if this person does this? What are you gonna say if this person does this? How am I gonna present myself in a way that, like, something bad won't happen to me? And then I think about how, you know, Joe Schmo over here can just walk in and be like, can I have that IPA, please, and not think about that? And, like, I think I just have an extra barrier in front of me every time, just doing little things, like enjoying beer. Because I really like beer, and I want to go into a brewery without being like, I hope someone doesn't say something insensitive. Because I just want to have this beer and my side of fries and have a good time. Yeah. And an example of this is one time, my friend and I go to breweries a lot, and he's a white dude. So I walk in, and usually if I walk in with him, everything is fine. But when I walk in alone, like, I don't know, there's, like, an air of, like, uncomfortability with people around me that I feel that I think every black person knows what that feels like when you walk in and you're the only one.
Yeah.
And everyone's, like, looking at you, and even if they're trying not to look at you, they're looking at you. And I think that's what I mean when I say white people in Denver, because I think Colorado is pretty diverse, but Denver in particular, the spaces I frequent are not, so I don't really see myself around. And then if someone doesn't see themselves around, like, people don't really know how to act around me, and makes things a little bit awkward. So it's like the little microaggressions that happen, and microaggressions are like little paper cuts. So, like, when someone doesn't see me right away, but sees, like, the three people behind me first, or, like, when I want a spot in the bar, but I don't want to make people uncomfortable, like, by sitting between them, and which is awkward to begin with, but it's even more awkward when I'm the only black person in the bar, and I'm like, I just want to sit on the bar because I don't want to sit at the table by myself. It's so weird, you know? Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what for me. That's what I mean, like how I interact with in my body in white spaces in Denver. It's definitely a skill, and there's times where I think I'm really good, and there's times where I'm like, maybe I'll go to Aurora today. What about you? How do you think about that?
I agree with what you were saying, and what stood out to me was that aspect of that we, like, as a black woman, I find that whenever I walk into a space or enter a space, I immediately, like, scan the room, and I'm like, okay, who's here, who is not here, like, what hat do I need to put on in this moment, so that so that it could be easier for me, I guess. That happened.
And then it's I think, at least for me, it's automatic, and I don't think about it until I leave the situation, and then I do a sigh, because I had to put up, like, okay, am I going to be, like, overly friendly, Hameeda, which I already am, kind of, but, like I'm going to have to use, like, bigger words, or, like, I'm going to have to talk about this thing so people can trust me, you know? Yeah. Like, how do I make sure, like, despite my blackness, that I'm treated well?
Yeah, and I notice people think, especially I'm in grad school. I was going to do that release later. I've been in grad school for a year, actually, y'all. I'm a very private person.
Yes.
And in my classes, sometimes I've gotten feedback that people think I'm introverted
No, you're not.
when they first meet me, and I'm not at all. But, like, when I'm in those spaces, I'm like, okay, let me sit and figure out who's here. Like, will they accept me as who I truly am, or do I need to put on a little act for them real quick so that I can get in where I need to be, and then let them know the real me?
Yeah, it's hard. And do you think it's like unconscious sometimes, or do you or is it like a conscious effort to be like, I'm gonna act like this right now?
I think both.
Yeah,
I think both. I feel for the most part it's pretty unconscious, but sometimes I am in positions where I'm like, I need to really like think about this, think about my identities and the other identities, and try to like think into the future of like, if I do this will probably happen, so maybe I shouldn't do that. Yeah, you have to do like quick racism math in your head. Right, yeah. I love that. Yes. Crunch the numbers, do the racism math.
Thank you for sharing that, Raegan. We got a question from Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. What's good? Thanks for joining us. Her question is, what is one small step someone can take today to be a better ally? Not just sharing this post on Facebook, but something tangible that can make a difference in the long run. Okay, Stephanie. What do you think? What are small steps someone can take to become a better ally today? Like now.
Something so simple and so easy. So one thing that I noticed, especially in Denver, for the most part, I like to think that people in Denver are kind of friendly. But I remember sometimes when I'm like downtown and I'll watch how white people interact with other white people, and they'll like greet someone or whatever, and then they go on. And when I walk down the street, like, I was taught to smile, acknowledge, say hello, good morning, whatever. So one thing that you can do, if you find that you're not the type of person, like, even if you're an introvert, it is so powerful that if you see, like, a black man, older black man or whatever, to just say, hi, how are you? And keep going. Like, you don't have to stop and have a full conversation. Yeah. But just, like, acknowledge that they are there. Yeah. That is a person in this world just like you. So acknowledge someone. Acknowledge someone today. Especially on this Valentine's Day. You don't know how people are feeling. And you could, like, make someone's day by just saying hello.
True. That's a really good one. I think a small step someone could take today is, obviously, please, like, say hi to people. Also, what's a small step? I don't know. I think, like, asking, like, posting about Black history outside of MLK quotes. I think just being, like, just acknowledging in a really open way. Like, it could be a Facebook post, like things outside of Black struggle, like talking about the joyous things of, like, today, it's, I don't know, Washington Carver's birthday. Like, there's Black history is also joyous. It's not it's not all tragic and sad. And I think talking about the joyous and happy things is really nice, because we see enough of, like, we as Black folks already know all the sad stuff, and like we have to live with it. But there's also like really kind, joyous things, like
with Hair Joy winning a Grammy.
Yeah, like I think it won some award. I think it's a Grammy.
One of those awards.
Yeah, like watch that, like watch a Black show and movie, and really like watch something fun. I think there's like so many joyous and happy things about Black culture that can be enjoyed outside of the set. Like, obviously acknowledge like the trauma and the oppression, but like it's a spectrum, and I think talking about all sides of it is really awesome, because there's so many awesome things about being Black, and like complimenting your friend on their hair without touching it. Like, wow, I really like your hair today, and it could just be that. It can be like just like find little ways to insert joy in the lives of your Black friends today, or this month, or every day of the month. Like, how are you doing? Like, how are you doing this Black History Month? Like, thank you so much for being here and like dealing with the crap that we have to deal with, stuff like that. That was a really good question. Thank you, Stephanie, for that.
One thing that you said to me, I love that you address kind of like a microaggression that happens pretty often, and like put a spin on it. People are always asking like, well, like my microaggressions generally, like, people mean well. But like, how do you mean well while also not being offensive? Like, instead of touching someone's hair and saying, wow, how'd you get it like this? It's so pretty.
I braided my hair.
Did you just like curl it with the iron or something? No, just say, I love your hair, Hameeda. It's so cute.
And like, thank you.
So cute.
And that's just such a because when someone gives me a hair compliment, I like kind of tease up, because I'm like, what are they gonna do? But when it's like, like a spin on it, like if you like someone's, I don't know, if you like someone's style, you can just treat Black people like people, I guess. An easy way to do it. Just, there's so many simple ways to don't be that person. Like, actively try not to be that person. Like, I think most people understand the microaggressions that, if you don't, you can look them up. Like, microaggressions Black people face a lot, and like you said, make a positive version of that you're gonna implement. You're gonna today I'm gonna be the person who doesn't do that. And that's like, and we're happy and grateful for that, because people are gonna be surprised, which is sad.
They will.
I'll be surprised. Awesome. Let's see.
On Insta, hi Samne. How are
you? How are you, girls? It's so long. Hey,
and
Liz.
Hey, Liz.
Oh, look how our folks. Hello.
Thanks,
and Jenny's still on.
Love
that. If you have any more questions, now's the time. What time is it? Yeah,
36.
Let's give like 5 more minutes. Is this like a case?
Yeah, it is. Actually, okay. I got
Talking
this
about
case.
Her watch.
Yeah, my fancy little Apple Watch, Liz.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a new case, and the day that I put the case on, I actually like rubbed against the wall.
Oh, good move.
So thank you to the Black History Month gods for protecting my very expensive self-care gift to myself.
Ah, yay, you deserve it. You deserve everything good in the world. Yeah, Samne, she said, I'm doing well. Good to see you. Do you have any questions for us?
Yes.
Oh, we got some hearts. Oh, thank you for the hearts.
We
You're so
love
sweet. Hi, Liz, give us a wave. Hi, Liz. What's good? Well, wait, I'll give you a second to think of something to ask us. And tell them, I have some questions. I have a question for you, Raegan.
What's up, Hameeda?
Hey, Raegan.
Yes.
Let's see. I was going to ask you a silly question, but I'll ask you a silly because what is your favorite thing about being a Black woman? What's your favorite thing? What's something you're like, wow, I'm a Black woman, it's so exciting.
Yes, so I know this already, actually. So my favorite part about being a Black woman is that a lot of the super popular pop culture things generally have started from Black women.
Okay.
So just being able to be like, yes, that's mine. Those are my people, my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like being able to really connect with that. Yeah, that's just, I'm like, I love that. And then, I don't know, going into some maybe superficial things, but like, I love having like curly hair and, yeah, I don't know. I I love it. It's the best, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
The best.
Oh, someone said, oh, you have a question? Thank you. I'm full of good questions. Yeah. Okay, no. I hate everything about being a black woman, is every person that I've looked up to as a child has been a black woman, have been black women. So that's been that's what I've been striving to be. And then just the thought that one day I'm going to be a sweet old black lady, it just keeps me alive sometimes.
No, actually, though, that's real.
Like, one day I'm going to get to call people honey and sugar and get away with it.
And baby.
and just, like, the history behind it. And, like, another thing, a superficial thing is, like, I love my skin. And I love that the sun loves me. And that I don't burn in the sun, that, like, my skin has so much history behind it. And that was shade. It's okay to be sunburned sometimes. It doesn't
I know. I'm, like, looking in this camera right now, and the sun's not really loving me too much.
Yes. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah. I love all the things that I was brainwashed to hate as a child, basically. Because that, to me, is, like, a radical step against fighting white supremacy. Like, loving myself for who I am is exactly what white supremacy does want me to do. And so, like, being around other black women just reminds me that I was like, we're the same.
Yes.
You're me. We're like, wow.
We've been dipped in gold and sunshine and love.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We got more questions. Okay, a question from Kate. Kate is asking, who are your favorite black authors, speakers, leaders who cultivate black joy? Good question, Kate. Raegan, take it away. Who are your favorite authors, speakers?
Oh, gosh. I feel like I'd need favorite. Okay. I feel like I need to think. Do you know yours off the top of your head? Okay. I know one person, but I'd love to hear.
Yes. This is cheesy. My favorite, like, speaker is my mom. Because my mom,
that's sweet.
This woman is chock full of African proverb for any situation. Which doesn't make sense to me until I got older. Because as a kid, my mom would be like, every day has a pit. And I'm like, what does that mean? And now I'm like, oh, everything in life is soft on the outside has, like, a hard center in the middle. That's, like, the truth of it. So, and that was, like, a lesson. That was a lesson in, like, when someone is speaking about something, or when there's, like, a rumor, or there's, like, basically, like, a controversy, there's, like, some small truth started that, and to look for that truth instead of being distracted by the sweet outside of it, basically. But, like, I was 5 and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mom. I just asked if I could go to this person's house and ask for a lesson. But, like, she's just, like, so, if I could write down everything my mother said, it's just, like, so, a lot of, like, good ones. But I guess one that a mainstream, not underground like my mom, but a mainstream author is, she, like, wrote Phenomenal Woman, that poem, what's her name? Maya Angelou?
Yeah.
Yes, Maya Angelou. Wow, I love poetry. I love her poetry. It's stereotypical, but, like, when I'm having a really bad day, on Spotify there's a recording of her reading Phenomenal Woman, and I'll just have it on loop when I'm feeling like, maybe I'm not a phenomenal woman. And then I'm, like, reminded, yes, I am. So, yeah, that's my people. What about you?
Yeah, so for a little bit of my life, I was really into black sci-fi / like, Afrofuturistic stuff. Mm-hmm. So Octavia Butler is such a dope writer, and I can't remember if the series is called Lilith's Brood or if that's, like, the first book and then there's more. Mm-hmm. But definitely, like, if you want to do some fun reading,
it's
that's
good.
Awesome.
I read it.
I'm also started off as a history major, y'all.
Big nerd.
In my the period that I was super into was the Harlem Renaissance. So I also, like, am super into, like, black artists. I'll just generalize it like that. Black artists and poets, and that warms my heart.
Aww.
And then also my mom, cause what?
Yes. Shout out to your mom.
My mother is such a unapologetic black woman, and I learn a lot from her every day. Even this morning, like, she gave me flowers this morning when I stopped by to give her and my father a Valentine's Day gift, and she left me with, like, a little bit of wisdom around how to communicate, like, so I feel like I'm good at having hard conversations, but my mom, like, dropped a little gem about how to if someone's not receiving that hard or that hard conversation, how to communicate with them in a way where she said it as being like petty but honest, but I saw it as like just how to communicate differently, still sticking to my values, and making sure that it can be received by them in a way that they're ready for. So, yeah.
I love your mom. She's great.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Found She loves my mom. Yes, my mom is great. Shout out to my mom. Yes, okay. I'm reading the comments on our Instagram live. We're doing it at the same time. Perfect. And she also said she doesn't have questions because we're already perfect.
You're so sweet.
Aww,
Thank you.
All right, our next question is from Julianne. Oh my God, hey!
What's up,
girl? How are you? Her question is, did I not say her name? Juliana?
You said it.
Juliana. Okay, cool. Juliana B. Okay, what's a good way to let you know you're accepted without overdoing it? You need to start this time so you don't have to start every time? Want me to switch when we go?
Yeah, I feel like you've been starting every time because I keep like tossing it over to you.
Oh, yes. I caught it. Okay, so what's a good way to let you know you're accepted overdoing it? I think we always joke because when people are overdoing it, I want you to know that all the POC will look at each other in the room like, and I'm just like silently like, okay, you're doing a little too much, but I think a way to do it is, once again, like, treat Black people like you would treat anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to make a new friend, and I know sometimes people are like overly like really interested in like our cultures and our food or like pop culture, and I think like the times I cringe are when people like say something that like stereotypically like a Black woman in pop culture will say, like, yes, queen, and I'm like, okay, like there's moments in that's fine, but like I think just really like reading the room and getting to know the person one-on-one. Like, I know Raegan really likes Miguel, so maybe I'll talk to her about Miguel, and like just showing like genuine interest in our culture without it being in like a weird fetishizing way. Like, you can say like, oh, like, I love your skin without being like, can I touch it? Like, there's ways to be like, wow, like I think that's really beautiful, and just leaving it at that. I think when people like delve in and make it like weird, like basically don't talk to Black people how you would talk to your white friends.
Yeah. Like when I say go out of your way to make these gestures, I literally mean like your way, like you. Yeah. So push yourself out of your comfort zone, not like go over and out to make Black people feel welcome. Yeah, like let's do a little role play. Okay, so Raegan's on the bus, right? Here's me walking. All right, ready? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm gonna sit on the seat next to Raegan, cause the bus is like kind of full, right? And I found like as a Black woman, people don't sit next to me on the bus sometimes, and I'm like, are they scared of me? But so if the bus is completely empty and Raegan's, don't do that. The bus is empty, it's just Raegan, but it's like a semi-full bus, your regular commute. You see her every day. You don't say hi to her. Just be like, hey, like, can I sit next to you? And then, I mean, thank you. Go ahead. Hi, I see you on the bus a lot. Hi, what's up? Hi, thanks.
Where are you going?
Going to work.
Me too. Have a good day.
You too.
And then headphones in, back to my day. Just like little, like Raegan said, out of your own way. Jenny's laughing at our vacation. See, like, without making it weird. Like, I think just really feeling that situation and doing it in a way that even, I don't know, I think listening to your gut and just don't do too much. You'll know when you're doing too much because everyone will look at you weird, and that means you're doing too much. Yes. Yeah, and then obviously practice. If you don't hang around people, I'm stuttering. If you don't hang around people of color or Black people, I think just like really ease your way into it. Like, you don't have to know all the pop culture terms. You don't have to like be like, don't be nervous to say the wrong thing. Just really leaning in of like, I'm just gonna be myself and go from there. That's the end. What do you think? Period?
Nope, agreed.
Period.
Yep, that's it.
All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? Let's see on our... Oh, I think I have another one on here. Oh, okay. All right, she does have a question.
Ooh.
Okay, Dominique, she has questions. Okay, now I'm talking about the Instagram Live. Go ahead, want to read the question?
Yeah, so what are the best privileges you have had?
That's a good question.
So, yeah,
we don't
getting a
talk
little
about that.
intersectional.
Yes, it's just like we're talking about pushing ourselves because we do have privileges because we're not just black.
Yeah,
you know?
so I identify as a black cisgender woman. I used to think that I had class privilege. I was wrong, y'all. That's a whole other story.
She found out she was poor.
But in my heart, I felt like
you're rich in relationships.
Yes. I'm like rich in like other ways.
Yeah. Money.
But I was born with U.S. citizenship. Dropped in my lap, my baby lap. Let me see. There was one I was going to say that I wanted to go into.
Already forgot. Ability?
Yes, thank you. I identify as able-bodied, and I am neurotypical. Sorry. There we go. So, and that all matters. Like, I can be a black woman and I'm all those other things, and that affects how I interact with other people and how other people interact with me. And one thing I really appreciate about that question, actually, is that when people see black women and see me as a black woman, I feel like they tend to think that, like, I'm at the bottom of the barrel, and
nothing going
it turns into, like, and it turns into, like, pity, and I'm like, hold on, like, I contribute to this systemic oppressive world, too. But yeah, those are some privileges that I benefit from.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a good question. Salome, pushing us. Our past participant, look at us. We're getting facilitated by her right now. That's awesome. I think for me, I wasn't born with citizenship, but I had a pathway to citizenship, so I had a way to get there. So I came to the U.S. as a refugee and then got my green card. And not everyone has an opportunity, so just having the ability to, as difficult as it was, to get my citizenship is definitely something I don't take for granted. Another one is being born cis. So, like, I was labeled a girl at birth, and I still identify as a woman. So that makes life easier for me. Another one is being, like you said, able-bodied. So I was born with, like, no chronic illness or disability that would make my life that would impact my life. Definitely no physical disability for sure. And that's something to think about because, like I said, black people are more complex than just being black. Like, there's rich black people, there's black people who are, like, transphobic. There's, like, we come in variety, and, but what we share is our blackness. But definitely there's a lot of things that I know I have that privilege. Oh, another one is being in the U.S., like being an English speaker. Yeah.
Another one, a big one that I don't think people talk about very often is, like, our education privilege. So Hameeda and I are both college students, and that, I mean, we have our own struggles through that, but that in itself is a privilege to be able to find some way to be robbed by this educational system. But yeah, so that's another privilege that I think a lot of people take for granted.
Exactly, like
including myself.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
That definitely links with my, like, our citizenship privilege too, and, like, being and having the right documents to even get into schools.
Right.
And having so definitely, like, once I'm graduating in May, I'll have a degree, and that's something I'll be the first one in my family to do that. So I would have it. I think I'll be treated differently than my mother, who doesn't speak English, and it seems uneducated in the eyes of Americans, even though she is a very smart woman and has, like, more knowledge than I will ever have. But because she has this piece of paper, she's deemed, like, less worthy than I am of other things. Yeah.
I wanted to bring up something in our last 8 minutes that might take longer.
Go ahead.
But it's a conversation I think we kind of have and joke around. We even joked around about it on this.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on colorism within the black community?
So, just quick vocab moment.
Yes.
Colorism is, like, the daughter of racism. So colorism is discrimination based on skin tone. So lighter and, like, whiter skin seen as more valuable, and darker skin tone seen as less valuable. So like if you have lighter skin, you have more privilege, and the darker your skin is, the less privilege you have, basically. And so colorism, oh my gosh, colorism is something I talk about a lot because I faced it personally as a dark skinned woman. Especially a dark skinned woman that grew up in India, where skin bleaching, and even in my home country of Somalia, that's really prevalent. Like, the closest you can get to whiteness, the more valuable you are. And I'm the darkest in my family, so my upbringing has been like people in, again, kind ways suggesting that I should bleach my skin. So like I remember the first memory I have of it is when I was 5 and I was going to the market with my mom. We were getting some milk, and this sweet lady that always gives me candy at the market was like, "Oh my God, like, you're so beautiful." I talked to my mom, "Your daughter is so beautiful, but like imagine if she was 3 shades lighter. Like, you should use this cream on her as like a compliment. Like, it's always, you're beautiful, but if you do this thing, you'll be more beautiful." And so that's what colorism, basically an example of colorism is. And to answer your question, was it like what I think about it? I don't like it. That's a no for me, dog. 0 out of 10. It definitely is something within our own community that, like, going back to that internalized white supremacy that people push on. Like, my black mom shouldn't have even suggested that I should make my skin closer to her shade or lighter. Like, that's reinforcing oppression and reinforcing white supremacy. I don't like it, and I don't think people talk about it enough, even within our own circles. Like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Twitter, but there's like, at one point there was like a team dark skin and light skin, and like, if you're light skin, you're this and this, and if you're dark skin, you're this and this, and this, even as a woman, like, the beauty standard is, because I already like, the beauty standard for black women is to be like, the lighter your complexion you are, the more beautiful you're seen, which is really messed up, because like, why would we want to be closer to, because black people come in various different shades, which is fine, but like pitting one shade against the other is like really harmful within our own community, and then sets us back. Like, we're basically oppressing ourselves again when we don't have to. That's what I think about it. What about you, Raegan?
Yeah, I totally agree. It happens. First of all, I want to like point out that this happens across all
it's everyone.
Ethnicities, races, countries, continents.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a thing. It really is. And my relationship with it is really weird. So, like, for all of you watching right now,
we're definitely two sides of the spectrum.
2 different shades of black.
Yes, we are.
But still black.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's moments like that where I'm like, oh gosh, like, I could be perpetuating some of this colorism.
I definitely. We joke about it a lot.
We joke about it a lot. But then, like, in other situations where I tend to be darker, like, especially with my family, or actually no, with my family, I have the lightest skin. Oops.
And like,
but it's just BS. Yeah. So like, I've always struggled with it. Like, my family would always be like, "Oh, Raegan, like, I wish I was your tone, like you're like that pretty caramel brown and that peanut butter." Like, what? First of all,
why is it always food?
I know.
I hate it. It's always food.
So that was like frustrating for me. But then I also had to recognize, especially living with you and like how much we talk about it. I'm like, okay, because I do have lighter skin and a lighter skin tone, I definitely benefit from some colorist thinking.
Yeah, that could be another one of your privileged identities.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it. I was like, in some ways it's a privileged identities, but in others it's like, I'm still black. I can't, like, people they're not ever like, well, actually I do get the question, what are you mixed with? Like,
I get that question too, and that kind of goes under like, first, like, blackness is so complex, so obviously we could talk about it all day, but, like, I do understand, but it really boggles my brain that people, like, because I think another privileged identity I have is, like, one thing I get a lot is, like, you don't look black, but in skin tone, just let's observe, folks, I am black, but because of my other features, because I'm Somali and East Africans just look like this, people are like, "Oh no, you definitely can't be black," as if being black is an insult. So now when people ask me like I just say I'm black and leave it at that, because if I explain that I'm smart, they're like, oh, that makes sense. That's why your hair looks like this.
You're the different black.
You're like and then that's just like what you're mixed with is so insulting, because black people are mixed with many things, and it's not just white. Like black can be mixed with a different shade of black. Black can be mixed with Asian. Like it's just really unfortunate that like another beauty standard of like, okay, going with the same with light skins, like people with lighter skin, like mixed kids are like fetishized, and it's really freaking weird and gross. Not cool. Don't do that, y'all. Let's not do that. It's gross. Yeah, so colorism is definitely something we can talk about for ages. It's trash. What time is it? Let's see.
It is.
All right. You know, our last minute and 10 seconds. So what do you want people to take away with them after this conversation? We'll be back next week. But what do you think, what do you want people to take away from our, like, why are we sharing this today? Like, why are we even doing this? Why are we sitting here an hour of our workday talking about racism?
Right. Well, one, I feel like we're hoping that we can eliminate or reduce the amount of microaggressions that black people are faced with every day with these questions, like some questions. Yeah. Y'all have been actually very respectful and so loving, and we love that. But we wanted this to be an opportunity for you to, like, get out any anti-blackness actions that you do. And let us, like, help you out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it just feels good to talk about being black.
It does.
In my Black Month. And,
yes.
In the spirit of Valentine's Day, just want to let y'all know that I love being black. I hope you all love me being black. And I have some ways that you can help support me and my black self.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yep. You can always give to our Venmo. I'll post later. But definitely, the reason I even wanted to do this is because I wanted a way to share black history without, like, you know, sharing an MLK quote, like something more personal, and giving people opportunity to ask us questions that maybe they're worried about asking or can't ask their black friends. So this is a space for y'all to, like, please leave questions here that you know, we don't have time to answer now, but I'll screenshot and we'll answer the next time. But definitely give people a space. Like, it's not always that people that get the invitation to ask questions. It's usually, like, unwanted questions at bad times. So this is more of, like, here's a space for y'all. Please ask. Please DM us on Instagram and Facebook. Like, message us, and we'll say those and we'll answer them next time. This is an opportunity for basically, like, because I say I want to take an hour of my day a week to, like, a day of a week to teach someone about blackness. So like I said, reduce harm to black communities and to just get closer to y'all. So yeah, I love being black. I love being dark skinned. I love who I am and where I came from and my people, and I want y'all to love that too, because being black is awesome and black people are great.
I just thought of something. I mean, so one, you can Venmo, Cash App.
We'll put it in the comments.
Us, personally. But then also other organizations that
do the work
are ran and led by black people, black leaders in Denver. Maybe we should, like, put a list together and like send it out to y'all so that y'all know.
Yeah, we'll
the one
post
that
it.
comes, like, to the top of my mind right now is a Princess of Peace in Aurora. But we'll let you all know some more. And then always, like, because we are black and work for Building Bridges, if you donate to Building Bridges, that also, it comes to us. Make sure I get paid, y'all.
Yeah, like, you know, and I'm going to quickly read some sweet things Samana has saying throughout. She's a past participant and, like, alum and awesome. She said first, colorism is another stupid stuff. Everyone is gorgeous. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, boo.
Even if everyone doesn't like you being black, their opinions are not important. Period. Period. And I'm going to leave it at that. Good day, folks. Happy Valentine's Day. Please love each other and be good to black people today.
Yeah.
And every day. Bye.
Okay, bye.